Hi, this is Haley with PitchBook. PitchBook's Debt and Lenders Screeners are designed to help credit market participants track market activity, find new debt investment opportunities, and identify lenders. This powerful due diligence and deal sourcing tool is complemented by our credit intelligence solution powered by LCD. Together, this combination provides a complete view of the credit market ecosystem, including debt facilities and transactions across US and European leveraged loans, high-yield bonds, private debt, and CLOs. This video will provide an overview of how to use our Debt and Lenders Screener to customize your search results. With robust sorting and filtering options, you can quickly surface the information you need on both borrowers and lenders. Now I'll turn it over to Chris from our PitchBook Solutions team to walk you through everything our Debt and Lenders Screeners have to offer.
So let's dive right in and navigate to our Debt and Lenders Screener. Once we're there, you'll see to start, before we've input any criteria, we're looking at over 460,000 results across PitchBook and LCD's comprehensive coverage universe. So this is reflecting US and European leveraged loans, high yield bonds, and private credit. A lot of different options when it comes to creating your curated list of deals, lender activity, issuer activity. For our purposes, just so that we can whittle down these results a bit here, let's focus on, let's say, broadly syndicated leveraged loans and private credit. Additionally, under debt type, you have the ability to filter this further by the specific type of credit facility you're targeting, whether that is revolving line of credit, term loans, A, B, unitranche facilities. We'll select all loans. Let's say you want to filter this further on the use of proceeds, and we'd like to see deals supporting a refinancing. And we want to ensure that we set a cap for, maybe we don't want to look at anything above 500 million in size. And you can see we brought down our results to more manageable 8,000. We could probably still bring this down further. And ways you could do that, it could either be under lender criteria, could be helpful if you'd like to further narrow this down to whether that's commercial lending or non-bank lending. On the company side, you can filter on the issuer details, such as the issuer's industry or location. We will continue with the example on refis by adding a parameter here for private equity backed refis. So we'll select ownership status privately held with backing. There's also private companies with no backing. You can do that. And under backing status, we'll want to select PE backed. So now, just to recap our criteria, we're filtering on asset class, leveraged loans, private credit, specifically loans, ensuring that we're not capturing any sort of mezzanine or bond debt, refis up to 500 million in size, and reflecting private equity back. So if we run this, we will now see a list of results that you have the option of viewing from multiple different perspectives. Before I get to that though, while we're in the debts tab here, this is going to be the most detailed view that's going to show you down to the credit facility level of detail. So down to that revolver or term loan, unitranche, what are the spreads that we're seeing? OID, anything related to that, of course, the size. One thing I want to call out is that this is the default run, but it's fully customizable. You can reorder the fields, you can bring in additional fields, and you can also do, as I've done, save multiple layouts. So I'm going to bring this in and you'll see how it'll change to reflect my personal preference here. So I happen to want to see the use of proceeds right at the beginning. So you can see, of course, we're filtering for refi, so that's reflecting that. Currency, asset class, just again, so it's front and center, and so on. Additionally, debt status, that's one of the fields that you can bring in just to see, is a deal currently in market? Is it closed and funded? Or perhaps it never even made it past the deal window and it was placed on the shelf. And the way to bring in additional fields is under edit table, edit columns. And here you can choose from a variety of options. So whether it's company specific fields for the issuer, such as current financing status, business status, whether it's deal specific fields, you'll notice here, revenue, leverage, and of course, debt specific fields. And this is where you would order them, reorder them as you'd like. So once we have this, our clients will use this tool for various different purposes. One might be to just quickly survey the market as they define it by size, by industry, by asset class. And once you have those specific parameters, effectively you have whether it's a comp set to look at active issuers, active lenders, active investors. Once you have found particular targets of interest, you can click into a given profile, whether that is for the issuer or the investor or the lender. And as we have here for ECI Software Solutions, it's a private company profile. And this is where you can get just a broader and deeper look into the given entity. You'll notice a summary in terms of employees, last deal, our analyst coverage there, but also LCD news and full history there, deals, just so you can see from most recent down to the oldest transaction. And also worth calling out that even though this is the Debt and Lenders Screener, this isn't limited to debt activity. So you'll notice, for example, late stage VC, buyouts, it's just going to surface the credit information first. So you can do this type of deep dive for any of the entities that you see here. Alternatively, let's say, beyond the issuer, if you wanted to look now at the lenders, there's a dedicated tab. Again, this is my layout. I'm showing here the total portfolio of debt facilities that we're tracking. And then this is the subset of that meets this specific criteria. And so let's say within this view, you wanted to filter for, if you wanted to look at commercial bank lending activity or perhaps BDC activity. And you can click into a given portfolio for more details that way. Now, the last thing is, of course, we focused on getting down to the source data and information, but at the same time, you'll want the option to sometimes abstract and look at summary level information, quickly view trends. So that's where our pivot table and charts sections will be valuable. Specifically for charts, this is a great way to get a quick count on just debt activity by both counts and dollar value. You can see here. And this is actually defaulting to maturity date in my case. You could look at it by issuance, but you could also toggle and look at it to get a sense for an upcoming maturity wall too. And of course, you can download this into Excel. Now, last but certainly not least, if we go back to our detailed view, whether it's the debts tab, deals, companies, investors, or lenders, want to highlight that anything that you screen, you are able to save. And you can either save it as a dynamic search, which will update based on new entrants that meet your criteria, or as a static list if you just want to track updates for a given list of participants. And then once you save that, you can choose to receive alerts pushed via email, whether on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis, and stay abreast of market developments and specific transaction developments as you'd like.
I hope you found this video helpful. If you want to learn more, PitchBook Pioneer offers robust e-learning courses and live trainings to help you get the most out of PitchBook. Not a client? Book a demo today.